Hello and welcome back to the next Productive Style video. In this video we're going to do a weekly spread that has a star and galaxy theme. In one of the Instagram polls last week I had the option of doing seashells or doing stars, and despite the seashells winning, the stars were very popular as well, and I actually had a few people reach out and email me and message me and ask to do a starry spread, and so that's what we're going to do today. So the tools that I have here are a few different ones than I've done. The pens I'm going to be using to do the outlining are the Styler Pigment Liner pens. So these are the ones that I've been using for the past couple videos. And they range from 0.005 tips to 0.8 tips. I'm mostly going to be using the 0.8 so it's easier to see in the video, but I like to do a variety when I'm just doing them for myself. Standard ruler. This is a interesting little tool. It's called a circle and angle maker by Helix, and it actually has a rotating part in the middle that lets you draw lots of different options on circle sizes. So that's a really neat tool, and I'll link to that down below the video just in case you're interested. A lot of people ask about this one when I use it on Instagram. Then I have a new type of pens I'm playing with a little bit. They're Styler again, and they're Marsographic Duo. So they're double-ended watercolor brush markers. And so you can do some blending and everything. And I have a little palette I picked up at Hobby Lobby for about $1. And I'm going to do blending in the palette and do that on the paper. Some other things I may be using. Tombow blender pens. Love these, and they're great for mixing with the watercolor markers or the Tombow pens that they're made for. And then this is a pack of watercolor brush pens I got off of Amazon, and they are really interesting. You actually take them apart, and there's a cavity where you can fill them with water, and then the water comes out the pen, and you get lots of interesting different tips here. And so I've got a couple of those filled with water and ready to go over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some music and go ahead and do the spread, and then I'll come back and talk a bit at the end. Okay, now we're back, and I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the techniques I used when creating this. The first thing I did was I went ahead and outlined the stars. I knew they were going to be yellow, so I did them first to give them a chance to dry out with the pigment liner pens, and I used the .08 of the Staedtler pigment liner to go over all of the little planets and stars. I used the Helix circle and angle maker to make the big stars, and then the little stencils inside to make some of the smaller planets. And then I just drew out a couple different types of stars, so just kind of a little bit of a sloppy free-handed star, and then made the lines back so it was a shooting star. Added some of the circles around the planets in order to make them, look a little different than just a plain orb. And then added a shooting star back here, but later on with some of the shading. These are the pointed stars. I think they're really cute. They're kind of like one of the emoji on phones that you see, and you just do a concave diamond and then draw lines out from it, and just squiggled some little patterns in here inside the tracker. There's a section for ideas, a section for memos or to-dos. I kind of liked the word memos for this week. And then a place to record any kind of fun memories from the week, a tracker, so you can track lots of different things here, and a place to check it off if you've achieved a little bit toward each goal on all the days of the week. And then I made just squares through here to write down to-dos or whatever, and just write over top of whatever the drawings are, because these are light enough that you can take pen over top of them after you give it a couple minutes to dry. For the blending of the planets, I used the Marsographic Staedtler markers, and I used them kind of like you would a Tombow brush pen, and just kind of drew in some outlines, and then I did a mixture of blending with the Wahoo watercolor brushes and with brush pens, and then the Tombow brush marker that just is the clear color. And so I would add a little bit of color to them, and then if I wanted some of these lighter areas, I would actually use it on my palette, the marker on the palette, and then blend the brush pen or the watercolor brush pen into that, and then blend over top the paper. And this is a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. It's the A5 medium dotted, and you can see there's just a little bit of ghosting, so sometimes I'll put stickers or something on the back, but for the most part it's very nice, and all the pages next to it are fine. You can watercolor over top of the paper, no problem. So anyway, this is the spread for next week with the galaxy and star theme. Leave a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see next, or send me a message. And please subscribe if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate the feedback, and I would love to see new subscribers on the channel since it's very new. Thanks so much, and stay productive.